In this section, we will explore how U.S. military commanders urge spy agencies to declassify and release more intelligence about Russia and China's bad behavior. This is part of a broader effort to wage the truth in the public domain and counter the disinformation campaigns of America's 21st century challengers. Last year, a group of 9 four-star military commanders who oversee U.S. forces in Asia, Europe, Africa, Latin America, and Special Operations sent a rare and urgent plea to the then acting Director of National Intelligence, Joseph Maguire. They requested more help from the spy community to provide them with evidence that they can make public to expose the pernicious conduct of Russia and China. The commanders said that they were missing opportunities to clarify truth, counter distortions, puncture false narratives, and influence events in time to make a difference. They said that they were hamstrung by overly stringent secrecy practices that prevented them from sharing intelligence with allies and partners, as well as with the American public. They argued that only by showing the world what Russia and China are doing can the U.S. shore up support from its allies and deter aggression from its adversaries. They cited examples of Russian and Chinese malign activities, such as cyber attacks, election interference, human rights violations, territorial expansion, and military provocations. The memo, which was reviewed by Politico and has not been made public, made waves inside the Pentagon, the intelligence community, and on Capitol Hill over the past year. It was seen as an unprecedented display of frustration and urgency from the top brass. Since then, the Biden administration has responded to the plea by breaking with recent precedent and deploying declassified intelligence as part of an information war against Russia and China. The administration has released reams of intelligence about what it said were Putin's plans and intentions in Ukraine, even when the intelligence wasn't rock solid. For example, President Biden publicly said that he had indications suggesting Russia might be preparing to use chemical agents in Ukraine. But 3 U.S. officials told NBC News that there was no evidence Russia had brought any chemical weapons near Ukraine. They said that the U.S. released the information to deter Russia from using the banned munitions. The administration has also disclosed intelligence about China's military buildup, human rights abuses, cyber espionage, and economic coercion. The goal is to keep Putin and Xi Jinping off balance and to rally international support for U.S. interests and values. The unprecedented intelligence releases have been coordinated by the White House National Security Council and have required more staff members from the spy agencies to work on the declassification process. The releases have been praised by some observers as a bold and successful strategy to counter disinformation and deter aggression. However, the strategy also carries some risks. Some critics have warned that releasing too much intelligence could compromise sources and methods, undermine credibility, escalate tensions, or backfire if the information turns out to be inaccurate or incomplete. Therefore, the U.S. spy chiefs have to balance the need for transparency with the need for secrecy. They have to weigh the benefits of exposing adversaries' bad behavior with the costs of revealing their own capabilities. They have to decide what kind of intelligence can be declassified and released without jeopardizing national security or diplomatic relations. 1 U.S. intelligence officials said that when the country's spy agencies have information that could help the world make better judgments about Russian activity, it should be released, as long as the government can avoid exposing how the information was collected or who passed it along. This is how U.S. military commanders urge spy agencies to declassify and release more intelligence about Russia and China's bad behavior. This is how they hope to win without fighting, to fight now in so-called gray zones, and to supply ammunition in the ongoing war of narratives. How Trump's impeachment drama highlights the tension between him and his spy chiefs. President Trump has always had a rocky relationship with the U.S. intelligence community. He has often dismissed, contradicted, or insulted the findings and opinions of his own spy chiefs, especially when they contradicted his own views or interests. But the impeachment inquiry that is now underway has brought this tension to a new level, as it involves a whistleblower complaint from a CIA employee who raised concerns about Trump's phone call with the president of Ukraine. The whistleblower alleged that Trump abused his power by pressuring Ukraine to investigate his political rival, Joe Biden, and a debunked conspiracy theory about the 2016 election. The whistleblower also claimed that the White House tried to cover up the call by moving the transcript to a highly classified system. The complaint sparked a series of investigations and hearings by the House of Representatives, which eventually voted to impeach Trump on 2 articles: abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Trump has repeatedly attacked the whistleblower as a partisan spy and a traitor, and demanded to know his or her identity.